Action. Wait. Action.
Dang, dude.
That's how you do
Wow. Roll down the windows next time. It's like shooting a gun in the car.
All right. You're really not going to have your seatbelt on?
I'll get to it. Why do you care?
I care. I don't want you to...
Hey, look at this guy. He doesn't have his shirt on.
Oh,
Look at this guy.
No.
He's bald. He looks like me. He's built like me, too.
All right, dude, can you angle it that way?
Try. You
See behind us. See behind us.
So, people want to know what cigar we're smoking. So, what little tiny tatuaje are you? Is that a tatuaje? What is that? I can't even see. Oh, what do you got?
I got myself... This is a Liga. It's a circuit. It's not a Liga.
That's not a Liga.
No, what's the one that you... I can't remember the name of it
Cracker
now.
Crumbs.
Cracker Crumbs.
Liga.
I'm sorry, that's the other one I've got.
Okay.
I have the, what are the short Liga ones?
Yeah, I don't smoke Ligas. I don't have that kind of money.
Oh, never
Sorry.
mind.
Hey, thanks for being late.
Yeah, I had to go pick up gear that you forgot.
I didn't forget it.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No,
you forgot
had
the
to
Zoom.
pick up. No, the Zoom. I don't carry around the Zoom.
No, but you wanted me to meet you at your house.
Because Jen's gone. My wife is gone. I got to stay at home. I got to take care of the kids.
Poor baby.
I got to make dinner and stuff.
Wait. Joe, we're going to pick up dinner.
What? No, this time tonight?
No,
tonight because you were late.
Joe.
If you weren't late, I would have had time to make dinner.
Oh, what were you going to make if you had time?
Pasta primavera.
You don't even know that.
I know what that is.
You don't even know. What is it? What's in it? How do you make it?
It's got pasta in it. And,
okay.
And like
and primavera?
A lot of it.
So though I doubt your cooking skills,
I can cook.
All right, fine. Agree to disagree. But I've had your chicken.
You have not.
Yeah, you grilled.
I did. It was good. Everybody loves my barbecue chicken.
Anyways, we're getting Chinese food, getting it for the kids. Wife's gone, but it's been a hectic week. It's only Wednesday, and it feels like a pretty long week for you.
Yeah,
not a lot of people know about this.
It's been a stressful week and a sad week. On Saturday, my brother died unexpectedly and suddenly, and he was 52, I think, something like that. We weren't close, so he was local, but we weren't real close. My family was much closer to his two kids that lived with him, but my brother and I haven't been close for years.
But you still love him. You still mourn with the family.
Yeah, it makes it more. In fact, it makes the mourning more complicated because it's like, well,
everyone keeps asking, "How are you doing?"
And I'm like, well, I'm okay, but I'm concerned about the kids, and so there's that. And then Pastor Stewart died.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Pastor Stewart was the first pastor to really invest in me and really take me to every conference, give me opportunities to preach.
And he tried like steering you out of ministry, right? Like I think he saw ahead and thought
he did not.
This would not, Joe would not work well.
No, he did not do that.
He said no to the JoJo?
No, he said go to the JoJo.
He said go to the JoJo. So he trained you up so you would leave.
Yes, he was. He was the guy that was really behind us starting our first church plant and everything. So the reason it's stressful right now is because I'm trying to make sure that everything gets done with the coroner's office and the funeral home and all these other things. And so thankfully, my sister came up. She's helping me out. She's doing a ton. Ellen. It's Ellen this time. Okay. Kelly couldn't come up. She's coming up later, and her plane tickets are already purchased. So anyways. So I'm doing all of that, and Jen's gone. She's in Texas, and that's long planned, and I made sure she went. She wanted to stay because she was concerned about me, but, I'm fine. So, because I can just whip up stuff for dinner.
Or go get Chinese. Most often get Chinese.
So in light of these two deaths, and, we all are impacted by death from time to time, I thought we could talk about what we ought to take away from the experience of loss. Like when somebody dies, when we're contemplating death, when we're sensing or feeling the imminency of death, what should that do to us? How should it impact us in a positive way, even as believers, as followers of Jesus? What are some things that come to your mind when you think, wow, in light of death, this is something that ought to be true of me, or this is something I ought to be doing?
I mean, I think first, for me anyways, the first thing that comes to mind is it should humble us, right? It should humble us that regardless of your station in life, regardless of how much money you've got in your account, regardless of your education or just your status, right? Or even for those that, there are people that work out, and I mean, I need to be one of them, but you know what I mean? Like, you can't cheat death.
Right.
For any of us.
Ecclesiastes.
Yeah, exactly.
It comes for everybody.
It comes for everybody. So I think it's humbling to me that regardless of one's upbringing, regardless of one's social economic background, their ethnicity, we're all going to dance that dance.
Yeah, I think it humbles. It should, and it should cause us sorrow. And it's like I was saying, mourning in this case it can be somewhat complicated. If you're not real close to the person.
Yeah.
But any death is a terrible reality because in one sense we know that it is the consequence of our sin.
Yeah.
Maybe not of someone's specific sin, like they're being punished in that sense, but we've all broke God's law. There is sin in the world, and all died because all sinned in Adam.
Yeah.
We're all guilty. So I think that there's appropriate mourning. Ecclesiastes is time to mourn.
Yeah.
So I think we ought to take it seriously enough. Sometimes we make light of death, and sometimes we do that as a coping mechanism. Like you and I joke around.
Like you and I joke around a lot about that.
And so sometimes it's a coping mechanism, but then to not mourn, I think, is to ignore a very dark reality that the curse of God is in this world.
Yeah. So in what ways do we ignore mourning? Like, are you talking about like we just avoid it altogether? I mean, you mentioned about joking around about it.
Yeah, and that can be okay.
That can be okay. I mean, I know. Here's the thing. For those that know Joe and I personally, Joe and I do joke about certain things, and part of it is I know it's helpful for you and it's helpful for me. It's not to ignore reality,
right?
But I don't know. I find joy helps me push through, and we kind of talked about that in the laughter episode, right?
Right.
But I mean, in what ways though do people try to ignore this reality?
Well, I think some people busy themselves.
Okay.
They distract themselves, and they'll go about the responsibilities of taking care of maybe the funeral or the services, the other members of the family, running out of gas.
Yep.
And so they get so busy that they don't have time to really deal with it. So sometimes I think people distract themselves in that way. Or they just kind of stuff it down. They become very stoic and they don't express anything. It's like they refuse to express themselves. And while everyone mourns differently, or many people mourn differently, there still is an important place to feel and to recognize the severity and the terrible nature of death. So I think those are some of the ways that I think.
So what then is proper mourning? Because I'm actually thinking about there was a Facebook ad. It's not. I doubt it's real. Someone posted it. I doubt it's real. It's like professional mourner to kind of really get your, to for when you die.
Yeah. So you get some mourners.
So you get some mourners at your funeral. $100 they'll come in and cry.
That's it.
For $200 they'll wail. $500 they'll
throw themselves on the casket.
They'll throw themselves on the casket. $1,000 they go in with you.
All right.
But I mean, like, what's proper mourning then?
I don't know that there's one proper way.
Okay.
Right? I mean, that's a good question. I don't know.
When I think about that, I think of like, well, even when we talk about mourning, I think I guess in my head I'm thinking about hope. Proper mourning should lead to hope. A hope for hope in what Christ has done and the redemption that we have. And some people don't have that. And I wonder if mourning there is, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to.
Well,
we haven't discussed this.
No.
So this is uncharted territory for us.
You're right. Apart from the hope of the resurrection, apart from the hope of the gospel, there is really nothing but despair left for us. So I would, as a Christian, I look for the hope of the resurrection. So I think what you're saying is for it to be proper mourning, or I would say maybe Christian mourning.
Yeah, let's go Christian. I don't like that word proper now.
Because everybody mourns, right?
Yes.
We regret and we express sorrow over something, right? So mourning, you mourn, you express sorrow and regret over this loss. I think that's really all that there is to mourning, and so it's going to impact people differently. They're going to express it differently.
Correct.
So I think living life as if today could be my last. This might be my last week. This might be our last Pastors in Cars Smoking Cigars.
Maybe.
So let's make them count. Like
Yeah.
make our days count. So if we're on date night, make date night count. If you're playing with your kids, make that count. If you're going to work for the Lord, not for men. You know, I think there's a lot of things that we ought to be doing in our everyday regular lives that should be the result of valuing the life that we have. So I think death should make us think that way.
I agree. No, I'm with you on that. I think it should also stir in us empathy for others, right? Like, because as we've experienced death, we should then mourn with those who mourn, right? Like we should be there for our fellow brothers and sisters in Christ, and and just for anybody really, like trying to comfort, and because I think I can be a cold person. Yeah, I can be pretty callous.
Well, I think I would say that you and I can be stoic.
All right, stoic.
Because cold, I don't feel like you're cold.
All right, well, I'm glad.
Maybe I might be cold.
You're cold.
You got the warm fuzzies in there.
Yeah.
You just got the
dwarf.
exterior of a fossilized rhino. Like you're very stoic and like stiff. What?
Anyways, yeah, I think we should be able to mourn with those. We should have sympathy, and to be there. I think just be present. Yeah, and I just the fact that you're mentioning that the passages that say weep with those who weep, mourn with those who mourn, rejoice with those who rejoice. That means that there is an expectation. God has an expectation on us to actually feel for other people and with other people. So even if we are stoic, it means that we're called to be more than that, right? And not just rely. Oh, this is how I function. This is how I roll. Yeah, that's how I do my thing. I think going back to that hope idea that you were talking about, Christian mourning. The thing that I'm thinking about is not just hope, but connected to that rejoicing. Like when we as Christians have to face the reality of death, we can rejoice because Jesus has conquered death. Yes. We don't have to fear death itself. We know that for us, it leads us into the presence of Christ, into paradise. And so for those that die in Christ, we know that we will be reunited with them. So I think there can even be the response of rejoicing. So like there's sorrow in the loss, in the curse of sin that's in the world, but then there's still simultaneously, almost paradoxically, emotionally, right? There's this, I can actually smile through the tears knowing that Jesus has done everything to conquer this so that we in him will live on. Amen. So I think that's a good one. Yeah, I'd like to place an order for carryout.
Oh, okay. Go ahead to order.
I need, let's see, 4 egg rolls.
Okay.
And I need 1 large order of the scallops and garlic sauce.
Starting with the garlic sauce. Okay.
Kung Pao
No,
chicken?
stop it. I also need 1 large shrimp fried rice.
Okay.
And I need 1 small chicken fried rice.
Okay.
3 white rice?
No, stop it. I don't need that. I also need
barbecue pork?
Rice, large.
Yeah.
Small chicken fried rice.
That's right.
Lots of napkins?
Everything else was perfect. Yep, everything's perfect.
Okay. Okay, your total 52, about 15 minutes later.
All right, thank you.
Chicken rice?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. You dummy.